yeah, is it Tuesday already? Okay, chat. We have begun the countdown for Skeleton Crew. It's about 28 days until this show airs. 4 weeks. And the last trailer has made fans lose their ever-loving minds. From Old Republic references to what the hell's going on with Jude Law's character. And we also have some Rey movie news to get to as well today. We got a lot to get into with not a lot of time. So let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? What's up, chat? All right, let's talk briefly. I know it's going to be brought up. I know it. I already know it. I got Brandon ready to go. I'm ready to go. We're ready to go, okay? Because today is Election Day in the United States. We're not going to talk about it at all because this is the escape from all that reality we're talking about. So either way, I don't care. If you voted, if you didn't vote, I don't care, okay? We're talking about Star Wars today. Star Wars today. Okay? Okay. And if you've seen doing otherwise, I already have told Brandon that he can kick you out of here. Okay? Perfect. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say about that. Now, Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew. This trailer that came out about, I don't know, what was it, 4 days ago now? 4 days ago, has still got me rattling around in my head, and it's got some crazy theories coming out of it, from Old Republic to Hondo Onaka to what's going on with their seemingly safe home planet to Jude Law as well. Okay? So we're going to talk about all this. We got some crazy theories, crazy twists and turns coming in this Skeleton Crew show, and we're going to talk about all of it. But first things first, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Okay. Star Wars Order, what is up? Mando United, how we doing? John Groom in the house. Fearless, how we doing? JC, how we doing? B-Man Gaming in the house. Thomas, what's up? Jessica, how we doing? Starship 66, how we doing? Brandon Baker in the house. Navarro, what's up? Chris, how we doing? WVU Grad, what is up? Austin Snow in the house. What's up, Austin? It's been a while. Kid Fisto, how we doing? King Shadow, what is up? Okay, starting off the stream right. John Groom with this 12-month membership badge. John with the year badge. I appreciate it, John. That's wild. And just says hi there. What's up, John? How we doing? Okay. If I didn't say hi to you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. But let's give everybody in the chat a nice little...
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay. Let's start where we always should start a stream off at. A poll, shall we? So if you haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Smash a like. But let's start up a poll. Let's start up a poll. Are you excited for Skeleton Crew? This is it, chat. This is it. We've done this poll 1,000 times on this channel, but now we have 4 weeks until this show begins. And now the time is running out. We're either excited for this show or we aren't. You're probably not going to make up your mind over the next 4 weeks. You're either excited now after 2 trailers, or you're not that excited. Now, maybe things can change if we see a possible Hondo Onaka in a trailer, or some tease to him or anybody else, like a Maz Kanata, Luke Skywalker, Din Djarin, Grogu, anybody. Maybe that will change your mind, but we are now 2 trailers in, 4 weeks away. Are we excited for this show? Darth Drafter, what is up? Darth Drafter, it's been a while. How we doing? Are you excited for the show? We're going to leave up that poll for a little bit. We'll see where you guys are at with that. But let's start off this stream with watching through the latest trailer, okay? This trailer came out 4 days ago, and I must have watched it at least 100 times by now. I mean, maybe not 100, that's a lot of times, but I've watched it quite a bit. First of all, it's an incredible trailer, and I'm looking for hints and Easter eggs towards this show. But it gets you hyped up. It gets you so pumped. The music is incredible. So, without further ado, let's watch this thing. Oh, wait a second. Before we even do that, let's put this over there, that over here. Okay, now we can watch the trailer. All right, let's do this.
What are you in for? What are you in for?
I found something buried in the woods.
Dad.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
What do you think it is? Don't touch anything. What did you do? We're lost. Really lost. Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up. Whoa.
Where'd you two find an old Republic credit?
Over here, quick. I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership. But we have to move fast. I need you to take the controls.
Oh, oh, oh.
Okay. Neil?
Neil?
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's wrong.
They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Be warned of booby traps. Pirates and mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
Okay, so we've watched that trailer quite a bit. We broke down that trailer on Saturday's live stream. We won't be breaking it down frame by frame today, but I want to watch the original trailer also because there's a little bit of contradicting things going on here, especially with Jude Law's character. Now, we have a few things that we want to break down and talk about today with crazy twists and turns coming our way in this Skeleton Crew show. One that has to do with the Old Republic, one that has to do with Jude Law's character, one that has to do with their seemingly safe home planet. We'll get to that too. But there's in Hondo Onaka. So 4 big things. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat what you want to start with. We can go Hondo Onaka, their seemingly safe home planet, Jude Law, or Old Republic. Tell me in the chat which one you want to start with. But before we get to any of that, I want to rewatch the first trailer, the one that came out over 2 months ago. Because interestingly enough, they almost have the same amount of views. 1 in 4 days, 1 in 2 months, which is interesting. But there's some contradicting scenes going on in both trailers, okay? So tell me what you want to start with. Hondo, Old Republic, Jude Law, or Seemingly Safe Home World. Tell me in the chat. But first, let's watch this trailer. Let's watch this one. This is the one from 2 months ago, the one that was released at D23 or whatever it was.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods.
I think it's a Jedi temple.
What do you think it is? I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello? Be careful where you step. We're lost. Really lost.
Tis dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
Two very different trailers, just feel-wise, but they give us so much different information. That first trailer is pretty much just a teaser. By definition, it's a teaser because it doesn't tell us anything about the show. It teases a few different scenes here and there. The trailer we just got a few days ago tells us so much information about what the show is going to be about and all this other stuff. Introduces us to new pirates and all that. But this trailer is more like a doom, 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 doom. Like it's kind of a tease towards what this show's going to be, and the other one's like da 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 da. Huddies, okay? It's Huddies Major Tom, okay? So I saw most of you saying Hondo and some Old Republics, but we'll start with Hondo first, and we're going to get to all of it. Don't worry about that, but we'll start with Hondo first. So Hondo, we have to go back to the other trailer. Hondo Onaka. When you think of pirates in Star Wars, you think of one guy, and his name is Hondo. Hondo, I was surprised to have seen, is only in 9 episodes of the Clone Wars. When I was doing my research for the video that dropped yesterday, give me a 1 to the chat if you saw that video yesterday. But shout out to you guys if you did see it. If not, go watch that video. But that Hondo video I dropped yesterday, I was doing the research for the video of just getting background on Hondo Onaka. Thought I knew a lot about the character. Guess not. But he is introduced in Season 1, Episode 11 of the Clone Wars. And he's only in 9 episodes. That's it. So this character that's become a fan favorite character, and when you think of pirates in Star Wars, you think of Hondo because he's become this legend. He's only in 9 episodes. And in Rebels, I actually don't really know the specific number. Somebody help me out. But he's only in a handful of those episodes as well. So a character that has so much legend and awesomeness around him only shows up a handful of times in the Star Wars canon. But the biggest part is that we know for a fact Hondo Onaka is alive during the time of the sequel trilogy, because at Galaxy's Edge at Disney World and Disneyland, which is a canon place in Star Wars technically, obviously that doesn't mean if you've gone to Disney World or to Galaxy's Edge that you're in canon Star Wars. Hate to break it to you, you're not. But he is, because Hondo Onaka is on the ride Smuggler's Run. And that is technically a canon thing that's going to happen or did happen in the sequel trilogy, which means Hondo Onaka survives to the sequel trilogy and he's helping out the Resistance, which is interesting. Need to keep that in mind. But the craziest part is we know he's alive past this show, meaning he will be alive during the events of this show, but his ship is in the trailer. So we were looking for a possible Hondo appearance in the latest trailer. It is. His ship is in the trailer. If you don't believe me, let's check it out. So if we go back to this first trailer, I believe at this mark, yeah, right here. At this spot right here. And you gotta, it's almost like a blink, you miss it type situation.
Stay together.
That's it. There was his ship. You see it? Right there.
We're lost. Really lost.
There.
Stay together, but just...
See it? Did you see it? All right, let's actually pause it there. Right there. Right smack dab in the middle of the screen, right in front of our stupid faces, is Hondo Onaka's ship. And no, it's not this massive one back there. It's not this one over here. It's right there, right in the middle of your screen. Right there. Now, what the hell does Hondo Onaka's ship actually look like? I'll show you. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, hang on. Hondo's, there we go, ship. This is Hondo Onaka's ship. Wow, that is a pixelated version of the, oh, hang on. Much better, okay. This is Hondo Onaka's ship. This is the ship in the trailer. Now, actually, I have a better image of this. Let me go back here, and we'll do this, we'll do that. Okay, let me do... Shit. Okay, let's do this. So, Hondo Onaka's ship is right smack dab in front of our faces in a scene that's only 1 second in the trailer. That's really kind of you blink, you miss it type situation. Now, it's not confirming that Hondo Onaka will be in this show and will be teaming up with our heroes or even be a foe to our heroes. However, it's a direct connection to the pirate in Star Wars, especially in a show about pirates. John Watts, Christopher Ford, the two co-writers, co-creators of this show, have talked in extreme detail about how this show will be about pirates. all about pirates, because pirates have been mentioned in Star Wars so often. And when you think of pirates, you think of Hondo Onaka. And there's no doubt in my mind that he won't be in this show. So, here's the ship in question. So this is the ship in the trailer, extremely zoomed in. And if you look very closely, you look at the shape of this bad Larry, you look at the red markings that go across there and right down there. It's got the sort of hammerhead look right there. You can see it. It goes, and it's got its wings up there, wings there. It's got that weird, like almost Millennium Falcon jet out on either side. And when you look at that and look at, oh, it was already there. And you look at this, it's the same ship. Let me see if I can put them side by side, actually. Ah, perfect. Okay. Oh, I can't. Hang on. I can do this. I can do this. All right, there we go. There we go. What? Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Ah, perfect. Perfection, chat. That's what I like to hear. Open that up. Open this up. Perfect. There we go. So these are the two ships right next to each other. You got the red stripe down the middle. You got the same boosters right there and right there on either side. You got the same jetting out on either side. You got the same hammerhead look at the front. It's the same ship. Anybody with two eyes can see that. It's the same ship. Now, what's really weird about this is Hondo's ship by the time of the sequel trilogy, which is 25 years later. So it's technically possible that Hondo is not the one flying this ship. It ends up eventually becoming his ship, but who's to say it's not his right now? Could be somebody else's ship and then eventually come into Hondo's possession. I don't know, but if you have two eyes, you can see it's Hondo's ship. Plain and simple. Now, there are other hints towards Hondo Onaka's appearance in this show. We talk about the treasure at the end of the trailer, but before I get to that, I saw this super chat come in, and it's Darth Drafter, $10 holla. Holy crap, Darth Drafter. Are you kidding me? I appreciate that quite a bit. Says, got to get back to work. I'll catch up on the rewatch later. Much love to you all. I appreciate that, Darth Drafter, quite a bit. $10? That's insane. I appreciate it. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here, so I appreciate it quite a bit. If you are not yet a member, we do giveaways at the end of every single month. And your pal Joe actually just won the latest giveaway, which was a Mandalorian helmet from Art Sabers, which was pretty damn cool. So, yeah. But I appreciate it, Darth Drafter. I really, really do. Oh, and I will do any sort of Star Wars impression of your choosing if you send in any amount of super chat. Okay. That's just a spiel I always forget to go on every stream, so I had to say it. Let's talk about Hondo again. So at the end of this trailer, we see this. This sort of treasure, for lack of a better word, that our heroes seem to be looking for.
No matter what.
So these are our main cast: Wim, Neil, Jod Na Nawood back there standing behind them menacingly, KB, SM33, and Fern, all in this sort of vault, I guess, for lack of a better word, where there's a bunch of gold and treasure.
No matter what.
But the big thing that catches your eye is this huge skull in the middle. This huge skull in the middle. And it's the skull of a Weequay. Or a Weequay? Is it Weequay? I think it's Weequay. It's a Weequay. Now, a Weequay is the species of Hondo Onaka. The same pirate species you see throughout the Clone Wars. You see them sometimes in Rebels. You see them in the Bad Batch, actually, too. The Weequay. Now, is it a coincidence that Hondo Onaka's species just happens to be this skull in the vault that they find? Maybe. But at some point, all these coincidences of connections to Hondo Onaka, a show all about pirates, seeing his ship from the sequel trilogy in the trailer, seeing a skull of his species in the vault of treasure that they're looking for. At some point, things start to add up, and 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 74, and Hondo's going to be in Skeleton Crew. Okay? So that's the Hondo deal. There is no doubt in my mind that Hondo will finally be bridging the gap from from animation to live action in this Skeleton Crew show. But that's just me. That's just me. So chat, tell me, please tell me, do you think Hondo Onaka will make his live action debut in the Skeleton Crew? The only reason I put it in quotations like that is because he is in live action at Galaxy's Edge right now. If you want to go see Hondo in live action, just go to Galaxy's Edge, go on the Smuggler's Run ride. You can see Hondo in live action. I'm more so saying in a TV show. Yeah. I'll actually put up a poll for this. We'll put up a poll. Oh, Darth Raccoon becomes a membership at the night level, upgrades his membership. Let's celebrate that, shall we? Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Darth Raccoon at the night level. I appreciate that quite a bit. Okay, let's get back to business here. Let's put up this poll. By the way, guys, this is the highest that this Are You Excited for Skeleton Crew poll has ever been. As we have finally cracked, the math is not mathing, but almost 90%, 89% of you guys say yes. That's the highest it's been. I'm hoping over the next 4 weeks it just continues to get higher as the hype and excitement for this show continues to grow. But let's talk about this. Do you think Hondo Onaka will be in Skeleton Crew? Yes or no? Do you think he will be in the Skeleton Crew? Tell me, chat. Tell me. Oh, Agnes with a 4-month membership. I appreciate that, Agnes. I really, really do. Guys feeling generous today. I appreciate it. All right, let me scroll up a little bit here. Let me scroll up. I think Disney struck gold with this one. I think so too. I mean, no pun intended, right? No pun intended. Pretty exciting. Still has a Goonies go to the moon type of feel though. I feel as though Neil starts doing some truffle shuffle. I'm out of here. Yeah, it has that Goonies feel, but that's sort of the point. They want it to have that Goonies meets Star Wars-y type of feel. It's an 80s Amblin style Star Wars adventure. Yeah. Nobody has mentioned that, but we could see Vizago in this. Isn't that the big, orange dude from Rebels? No thanks. Don't like him. No thanks. This one's going to be good. I certainly hope so. I think Skeleton Crew, because we knew so little about it going into last weekend, and now we seem to know a little bit more, but fans are just excited in general. There's still a lot of mystery around the show, but the fact that the excitement has gone from here to all the way up here, even though we still know so little about the show, that's very important. Because yes, there's going to be twists and surprises and all that stuff in this show, but to be able to keep those a secret while also having people be excited for the show is extremely important, because you need people to come watch the show for the first of all, but you also want them to be extremely excited to watch the show. You need the numbers, and then when the twists and turns come and the surprises happen, then people are already watching and they go, holy shit, this is a great show. So I'm hoping for the best with the Skeleton Crew show, and the mystery of it all is still very, very good. Yeah. A live action Hondo would be amazing. Yeah, it would. Universal, what's up? I saw the Ghost in Rogue One at the Battle of Scarif. Yes, the Ghost is at the Battle of Scarif. So is Chopper, actually. Chopper is in Rogue One as well. Yeah. Finally finished Rebels yesterday. In my opinion, too many fillers. But other than that, the episodes were really good. Rebels is my favorite Star Wars project, period. All 4 seasons are incredible. I do agree with you that the first season has a ton of filler episodes in it, but that's more so just to be introduced to the characters. Season 2 actually has some as well. But it's sort of the end of season 2 all the way up until the finale. That's just, holy crap, what's going on? Like, once you get past the fact that the animation's a little bit different than the Clone Wars, it's some of the greatest storytelling ever. Yeah. That has a hammerhead on it, and Hondo's ship doesn't have a hammerhead on it? What? I think you are sorely mistaken, good sir. Clearly, Hondo's has a hammerhead right there. And so does that. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know about that one. Okay. They knew people would zoom in on that ship. Otherwise, they wouldn't have added the red touches. Yeah, clearly that ship has some detail on it. It's just some random background ship, and they made it so it looks exactly like Hondo's ship. For a reason. No clue who I would cast for Hondo Onaka. I'm not up on actors these days. Honestly, I'm really bad at casting people as characters. But they've done it time and time again with some of these animated characters coming into live action. And that is just bring over that voice or actor. Hondo's an interesting one because he's going to be under so much makeup. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the same actor who's voicing him. So if they just brought back the voice, who I believe's name is Jim something. Somebody in the chat help me out. Jim something. If they bring over Jim, who was the voice of Hondo in Rebels and in Clone Wars, and he's the voice of him in live action, he doesn't even have to technically be the guy under the mask. You know? Jim Cummings. There you go. Yeah. Rebels is extremely underrated. Oh, it's the most underrated show I've ever seen. Like, just people either can't get over the fact of the style of animation, or they just don't want to give it a chance. Whatever it is, it's extremely underrated. Yeah. Yeah. Hondo has a very distinct accent. I wonder who the voice actor is. Well, Jim Cummings. Yeah, he has a very distinct accent. So bringing over the same voice actor is very important. It's the same thing with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn has a very distinct sound to him in Rebels, and that sound is Lars Mikkelsen. So having Lars be Thrawn in live action makes perfect sense. It's not so much the same with like Bo-Katan. Like Bo-Katan probably could have been a different actress and gotten away with it. But it's more of a feel-good thing to just have Katie Sackhoff come in and play the character in live action. Yeah. Anthony says, "Hey, Mike, I just started watching, but I have to take my mom out to vote around the corner. Be back later. Very excited. Hondo is a given." Yeah. Well, have fun with that, first of all. And second of all, yeah, Hondo's a given at this point. It's a show about pirates. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if Hondo is not involved in this show at some point. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait for the Gar Saxon helmet, a fine addition to my collection. Well deserved, show. Well deserved. For sure. Okay. I got a big Boba bet that Hondo will be in the show. Should we make bets? Should we start betting on this, chat? Should we start betting on this? Got some side gamble, some cantina gambling going on here. At this point, it would be a surprise if he isn't in it. Exactly. And about 90% of you right now in the chat say, yes, you think he will be in the show. I mean, it's not. All signs are pointing, neon signs going, Hondo will be in this show. I don't know why the hesitancy is. What the hesitancy is, I should say. Yeah. UV Clip says, I think Hondo will be following the kids as he knows that Jod Na Nawood is going to be a bad guy. And his reasons for the New Republic getting involved in this show. He is the reason for the New Republic getting involved in this show. Because he calls them through Hera and Zeb being his friends. Interesting. That brings us perfect segue into the character that Jude Law is playing named Jod Na Nawood. Okay? There is something very strange going on with this character. As you can tell on the thumbnail of this video, he's right there. Off to the left, I guess. I was going to say front and center, but he's off to the left. And I think one of the biggest twists that's coming in this Skeleton Crew show is that he is not going to be portraying a good guy. He's going to be a pirate meets Jedi type. He's going to be able to wield the Force, I do believe. But that doesn't make him a good guy. That doesn't make him a hero. That doesn't make him helpful to these kids. And I actually think he's just using them to get to this treasure. Maybe he doesn't have a ship and needs their ship. I don't know. But I don't think he's going to be a good guy. Now, there's evidence to suggest this. There's some support behind this theory. And it takes us back to the first trailer. This is the first trailer that came out a few months ago, and where we're introduced to him wielding the Force in the very last scene.
You're a Jedi.
So that's our first look at Jude Law ever, is right there. He uses the Force to grab the key to save the kids who are trapped in this some sort of prison, some sort of detainment. Interestingly enough, some fans seem to think that this is some trailer magic and being cut together in a weird way, where Jude is actually not even in this place with them, and it could be a different character entirely. I don't think so, but weirdly, Jude Law, in a recent interview, when asked about being able to wield the Force, said, "Who says my character wields the Force?" Is he just playing dumb? Did he not know that we've already seen this trailer where he wields the Force? Or is something weird going on here, where he's actually telling the truth that his character might not wield the Force? What's going on? That trailer's been out for months now, and Jude Law is now trying to tell us, trying to mess with our heads and say, "Oh, who says my character wields the Force?" Now, that brings us to the latest trailer, because we're introduced to his character in this trailer in such a weird way. Such a weird way. After the mention of the Old Republic, I blacked out. Okay, I'm going to be honest. The first 5 times I watched this trailer, I blacked out. I was like, Old Republic. It was immediate. Old Republic mention, mind-blowing. We'll get to it in a little bit. But right after the Old Republic is mentioned, that's when Jude Law's character is introduced. And they cut together this trailer in such a weird way. Talk about trailer magic. They're trying to lead us in one direction while they're showing us something different. And that's what this trailer is doing. So let me get to the point where I'm talking about. I believe it's around right about here. Yeah, there we go.
Pay up. Whoa.
Where'd you two find an Old Republic credit?
Okay, right there. Already so much has gone wrong. So much is a lie to us. They're lying straight to our faces. They're hiding it in plain sight. So this weird dude who gives him the food,
Kid, pay up.
is asking him to pay up. He pulls out these Old Republic credits. We'll get to it.
Whoa.
Where'd you
We see some Jawas.
two find an Old
This guy, who's not the guy working there, asks about the Old Republic credits.
Republic credit?
Then we get our first look at Jude Law,
Republic credit.
hiding, just watching from afar with his gun out, with his blaster armed and ready. That's not the same scene.
Credit.
This guy pulls out a sword. He works there. He pulls out a sword. Why? Things escalated extremely quickly. Then you see Vane. Vane is the pirate from The Mandalorian Season 3. Give me a 1 into the chat if you know who I'm talking about. Vane, yes. Give me a 2 if you're like, who the fuck's Vane? Mike, what are you talking about? 1, yes, Vane. We all know who Vane is, duh. And 2 is, Mike, who the hell is Vane? Vane is the pirate that was from The Mandalorian Season 3. Remember when Din Djarin and all the other pirates, all the other Mandalorians saved Navarro from the pirates? Yes, yes. All right, I see a lot of ones. Good. So we all know who Vane is. He's not in this scene up until this one frame. So the Old Republic credit stuff, the weird dude at the bar asking about it, the bartender pulling out a sword for no reason, all that happens, but Vane's not there. Then in this scene, Vane's there. Strangely enough, this fire that Wim starts blinds Vane in his eyes, and these kids start to run away, screaming, help. And Vane, we're led to believe, chases them.
Over here, quick.
This is a completely different scene, completely different location, actually. As you can see in the background, they're no longer at this cantina. They're somewhere in some sort of tunnel or something. We're being led to believe something's extremely different in this trailer. Jude Law's helping these kids? I don't think so. I actually think this scene where he tries to give them the Old Republic credits is where they get captured and put into the prison that we see in the first trailer, where they meet Jude Law. But this trailer is supposedly leading us to believe that Jude Law saves them here, making him look like the good guy, making him look like the hero, but he's not.
Over here, quick. I'll get you home.
Again, Jude Law, blaster out, no kids around.
I'll get you home.
Kids being chased, not by Vane, interestingly enough, but by the guy at the bar.
Get you home.
Right there. The guy who said, "Where'd you get those Old Republic credits?" He's just chasing them down. I don't think they're chasing them down because they can't pay for their food. I don't think that at all. He's chasing them down because he wants those Old Republic credits.
We'll make a partner.
And then this is him saying, "We'll make a partnership. I'll help you out. We'll make a partnership." Not, "I'm going to save your asses. I'm going to get you guys home safely." We'll make a partnership so it can benefit me as much as it benefits you. And we cut to them being chased to this now getting on a ship on a completely different planet. The trailer is clearly making us think or making us believe that Jude Law's character is a good guy, helping these kids, getting them back home, all safe and sound. That's not what's going on here. He's clearly not to be trusted, as he's a Jedi, doesn't have a lightsaber, he's wielding the Force, but he holding this pirate blaster, looks like a pirate, smells like a pirate. He might just be a pirate!
But we have to move fast. I need you to take the control.
We have to move fast. I'm sure these kids, their only hope is going to be this Jod Na Nawood character. And they're not going to know what they get into. And like John mentioned earlier, it's very well possible that Hondo, who's usually a pirate, usually not the best dude, usually the backstabbing type, he could be the hero here. Because the last time we see him in Rebels, he's helping out the rebellion. He's sort of a hero now. He's lost those pirating ways. So he might be helping these kids. And maybe that's where the New Republic comes in. Because we see the New Republic multiple times in both trailers. X-Wings flying around. Now, we don't ever see who's in the X-Wings, whether it's Carson Teva, whether it's Harrison Dula, Zeb Omega. We don't know. But the New Republic will play a role in this show. Somebody will tip them off. Because if we keep watching this trailer...
Okay. Neil?
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's
Nope.
wrong.
This planet right here seems to be where the treasure is, the lost treasure at the end. But you have X-Wings flying through the sky right here. You have the Onyx Cinder, which is their ship that we'll talk about in a little bit. And the pirates are also here. So somebody has tipped off the New Republic to come save these kids.
Warned of booby traps.
As you can tell, that's our boy Steve Urkel, and you got X-Wings flying around.
Pirates and mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up.
This is also a very strange one.
None dare to go.
If you hear this,
This is the cockpit of what looks to be the kids' ship that they find. But these are not the kids in there. So somebody either hijacks their ship, or this is before they even get the ship. And that's Fern's mom right there on the hologram. And there's this random person there that we don't know who they are. Now, the ship is pretty interesting. And that can actually easily take us into the Old Republic thing. So Jude Law can't be trusted. Perfectly fine. Hondo Onaka probably going to be in the show. I would say I'm 90% sure, at least. Now let's talk about the Old Republic connection here. The big thing is that the credits that the kid tries to give to the bartender or whomever are Old Republic credits. Let's go back to that scene.
We're lost. Really lost. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up. Whoa.
Where'd you two find an Old Republic credit?
Okay. These are the credits in question. Old Republic credits. Now, how does the Old Republic play a role in this series? Where did this kid get these credits? Now, there's a few different options here. These kids come from a seemingly safe home planet, which we'll get to in a little bit. But is it possible that that planet is so out of time, out of place, that they're still using Old Republic credits? Probably not. That's probably the less likely option. The more likely option, however, is that the ship that they find, this onyx cinder that they happen upon, could be a ship from the Old Republic. Now, it seems as though the ship is in pretty good condition for being thousands of years old, if that is the case. But that brings us back to the first trailer. Again, we're piecing this all together. We got one trailer that came out 4 days ago, one trailer that came out over 2 months ago, but we're piecing it all together. This is what we see when these kids first go into that ship.
I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello?
First things first, very overgrown. Very overgrown, meaning it's been there for quite some time.
Be careful where you step.
I mean, it's got stuff growing all over it. It's coming apart because it's so old. It's powering up. Cobwebs, skeletons. Talk about skeleton crew. Skeletons? This is SM-33. He's barely alive. He's been sitting here for quite some time. So, needless to say, this ship that these kids happen upon has been here for quite some time. How long? We don't know. But could it be thousands of years? Could it be an Old Republic ship?
Stop.
Here's the other thing. SM-33, the droid of this show. Now let me get a better look at SM. Actually, we'll go back to the other trailer. We see him be all badass in the other trailer. SM-33. This is our droid of the show. It seems like most shows have a droid of the show. You got R5 being the droid of the show for The Mandalorian Season 3. You got Chopper in Ahsoka, or Huge Wang, I'm sorry, in Ahsoka, with Chopper being the accessory, I guess. You got a droid of the show. I mean, Andor's going to have K2SO. Speaking of K2SO, let's watch this. So this is our boy, SM-33. He looks pretty damn old, if I do say so myself. His paint is chipping. He's got some rust going on here. He's old. He's only got one eye. He's pretty damn old. But he just looks like an older variation of K2SO. By the way, he's talking to Vane right here. That's Vane. You can tell by the side of his head. Interesting. For a character who's not in this trailer at all, he's in this trailer quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, K2SO will be in Andor Season 2. That's been confirmed, yeah. But K2SO will be in Andor Season 2. However, if we look up a picture of K2SO and put him next side by side with SM-33, hang on. K2SO. He pretty much just looks like a newer variation of the character. Whoa, why is that so far zoomed in? So that's your K2SO, and that's your boy SM-33. Is it possible that this is just the generations down variation of the same droid? Just a newer version of it? You could kind of say the same thing about Hu Yang. I've gotten some complaints about how I pronounce Hu Yang's name. Huge Wang, okay? He could be the older variation of a protocol droid, something like that. But when you have thousands of years of story to tell, you're going to have new ships, new droids, new force abilities, new all of that stuff. So if you're going back to the Old Republic, which is mentioned in this trailer, then your droids are going to look fairly different, especially if it's thousands of years before. Think about how much time and differences there are in the real world with thousands of years. 1,000 years ago is 1924. It's a completely different time period. That's 100 years. Sorry. Take that back. It's 1,024. That's even crazier. My math was not mathing there. However, in Star Wars, things don't really seem to be working that quickly. So K2SO being the later generation of SM33 would make quite a lot of sense. When does this series take place? That's a great question. This series takes place in the Mandoverse, shortly after the events of Ahsoka. So the Mandoverse works very well because it's all in order. There was, at one point before Ahsoka, we were worried that it would happen like before Mando Season 2 or something, so there would be a confusion in the timeline. It works perfectly. It starts with The Mandalorian Season 1, and then it goes in order from there. Mando Season 1, Mando Season 2, Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 3, Ahsoka, and now Skeleton Crew. So Skeleton Crew is just the extension of all that story. So it takes place in between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Yeah. So, with that being said, do you guys think that this ship, the Onyx Cinder, so it's been dubbed, is an old Republic ship? And if not, if you don't, where did he get these old Republic credits from? Tell me, chat. Tell me. Okay, let me read some chat because I'm pretty far behind. Okay. If Ezra is back, wouldn't Hondo contact him instead? Maybe. I mean, we don't really know the extent of how long Ezra's been back. We don't know how much time has differed or, I guess, gone by since Ahsoka. But who knows if Hondo even knows that Ezra's back. Hondo might still think he's dead. Yeah. Kay says, I'm apprehensive to make too many connections since they said that you don't have to watch anything else prior to watch this show and understand it. But it could be like in Mando where it all connects. Yeah, well, they said the same thing about Ahsoka. They said you don't have to watch anything else Star Wars to understand Ahsoka. Although that's true, you can enjoy Ahsoka by watching it without having seen anything else. It's going to make you it's going to make it thousands of times better if you've watched Rebels, if you've watched Clone Wars, if you've watched The Mandalorian, if you've watched episodes 1 through 6. Like, knowing who Anakin is when he shows up in the World Between Worlds, that's important. But in theory, you could watch it without having any prior knowledge of Star Wars, and it would still kind of make sense. Or it would still make sense entirely. If you watch that World Between Worlds sequence, you know that that is Ahsoka's former master, because he's talked about a few episodes prior. And it's kind of just, you can spell it out on your own. So them saying that you don't have to watch anything prior to understand Skeleton Crew doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be connected to everything else around it. You know? It could still be connected to The Mandalorian, still be connected to Ahsoka, connected to Rebels, connected to all that stuff. Yeah. Watching Rebels definitely helps Ahsoka. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, watching all that stuff helps Ahsoka. Helps you enjoy it. But it's not mandatory watching, you know? Dark Winter says, has a device on his wrist that connects to the key and then it levitates towards him. They don't know any better. You're saying sort of like the character from Kenobi. What was his name? Who was the guy from Kenobi that tried to trick everybody by fake using the Force just to get some money out of him? I forget his name. But you're saying that Jod Na could be like that type of character. I don't think so. I think Jod will be wielding the Force, but I don't know for sure if he will be a Jedi, if that makes sense. I don't think he'll be a guy who survived Order 66. We'll put it that way. I think somebody or someone or somehow he learned to wield the Force, and that will be a pretty cool explanation of how we learned that. But I don't think he survived Order 66. Haja, yes, Haja was the guy from Kenobi. Haja was the guy from Kenobi who was tricking people by fake using the Force with just magnets and stuff and buttons. But I don't think Jude Law is going to be like that. No. They always cut the trailers to reveal as little as possible. The way they have curveballs still coming at you. Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to give you everything. That's for damn sure. They don't want to tell you everything in the trailers. But it's sort of what they're hiding under those cuts is what's interesting. Because they're making Jude Law look like this hero who's saving the kids, but they're trying too hard. The first trailer, the only thing that he does is use the Force to force a key over to them. And you go, oh my God, he might be saving these kids. But then you think, well, why was he in the jail in the first place? And then in this trailer, it's making you believe that he's the one who's saving these kids from these pirates or these people that they can't pay. But that's not what's going on because it's all cut together weirdly. Yeah. Mentioning the Old Republic gave me chills, and I hope that one day we get an Old Republic movie. That would be awesome. Yeah. A mention of the Old Republic is sort of the first steps into getting Old Republic content. We know for a fact that Dawn of the Jedi is on the release schedule for Star Wars. And that's not technically Old Republic, but it's before the Old Republic and will lead us into the Old Republic. It's almost the same as Obi-Wan Kenobi mentioning the Clone Wars in A New Hope. He fought with Anakin during the Clone Wars. He mentions that as an audience member, watching A New Hope, you go, what was the Clone Wars? And then you have to wait 20 years to see the prequel trilogy, but hopefully it's not 20 years to see the Old Republic. This could be the first mention of the Old Republic, or one of the first mentions of the Old Republic in Star Wars canon that will eventually lead to normie fans going, well, what's the Old Republic? I want to see that. And then that's when you sort of get the traction in people going, okay, let's do some Old Republic content, you know? Maybe he's splitting hairs by when he says wielding the Force. To give an example on wielding the Force, I can throw a baseball, but that doesn't make me a baseball player. Interesting. That's actually a great point. We see Jedi and Sith in Star Wars, people who have trained their whole lives to wield the Force. We don't see people in Star Wars, at least that often, or if at all, that just can use the Force, but don't have any training. Because I guess the Force is something that you need to train to utilize, but Jod's character could be one that he maybe trained a little bit. Maybe he found a book or something and trained that way, and he can use it, but can't like really wield the Force, you know, like maybe every once in a while he can use it type deal. And we've never seen a character like that. And he is described to be this new type of Jedi, or at least he's not described, but this show is described to have a new kind of Jedi involved in it. Yeah. Mando Season 3 is better than people remember. I could not agree with that more. I think Mando Season 3, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi are all better than people remember. They've just, when you look out online, it's so much hate and that season was the worst season by far. Talking about The Mandalorian Season 3. Nowhere close to the first two seasons. I'm not saying that it's better than the first two seasons per se, but it's got so much hate and crap on it that people misremember the season. Same thing with the Book of Boba Fett. Same thing with Kenobi. Because it's really a lot better than you remember. So I urge all of you to go rewatch it. Yeah. Kenobi for sure. It's just Reva. Exactly. So with Mando, you had the fact that it wasn't as good as season 2. That was holding it down. With Kenobi, you had Reva. Fans were so against Reva that it brought the rest of the show down. When young Leia is incredible. When the story itself, the rematch of the century, is incredible. With Book of Boba Fett, yes, you have 2 episodes without Boba in there. It's Mando Season 2.5, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. Yes, you have the Vespa Gang, which I absolutely hate, but you still have one of the greatest episodes of Star Wars ever, and that is From the Desert Comes a Stranger. People just only sort of remember the bad things because people only talk about the bad things when it comes to the Star Wars community online, which is sad, but it's the truth. Yeah. Hondo is the hooded figure sitting at the table behind Wim in that one shot, not Jod. That would be a plot twist for sure. Sitting at the table behind... What now? You saying in this scene right here?
Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up.
Hooded... Who?
Pay up. Whoa.
Where'd you two find an old Republic credit?
I don't see anybody hooded in this scene.
Over here, quick.
I didn't see a hooded guy in that scene, but maybe I'm blind. Okay, where was I? I think Hondo will end up being the hero and save the kids. That's definitely a possibility. I don't see him being a bad guy in this show. If he does come into live action, he's already been set on an arc in Rebels, and we see him in the sequel trilogy helping the Resistance. So he's always sort of, we know from Rebels where he becomes a rebel to Resistance, or to the sequel trilogy when he helps the Resistance, that he has remained a hero, at least for the most part, through that time period. Fern's mom is a politician, right? She might have contacts with the New Republic. That's a great point, and that actually brings us perfectly to the fourth part. The segues are fantastic today, chat. I'm loving it. But we went from Hondo to Jude Law perfectly, from Jude Law to the Old Republic perfectly, and now we're going to the fourth thing, which is their seemingly safe home planet. And yes, Fern's mom is a politician. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's a politician that goes to Coruscant and is a part of the Senate. She could just be a politician on her seemingly safe home planet. Now, there's a mystery when it comes to this planet. First of all, we don't know the name of it yet, and usually I feel as though Star Wars would tell us, Lucasfilm would tell us the name of the planet before the show comes out. That seems to be some information that will be given. It's not. We don't know what this planet is. However, I bring again to you the evidence that I did last stream, and that is this. Hang on, let me show you this. The Skeleton Crew, StarWars.com, when they released the trailer for this show, they also released this article. This article, this one maybe? Hang on, let's see. One of these two. Nope, not that one. Okay. Yes, okay, here we go. This article. Nope. What? What? What the hey diddle diddle? Let's see. That is not what I was looking for. Did they delete the entire article? What's going on here? Oh, wait. Might have found it. No, I didn't. What is going on here? Where is this article? They're hiding it from me again. Let's see. Star Wars Skeleton Crew. They're hiding the article yet again. Let's see. You know? If you know, you know, Chad. I don't know where this article is. They seem to have deleted it. Oh, I do know where it is. Actually, hang on, chat. Skeleton Crew. John Watts, Chris Ford. Haha, I found it. Okay, there we go. I found it. All right, so in this article, with the co-creators of the show, John Watts and Christopher Ford, right there, John Watts, Christopher Ford, the two guys who brought us the Tom Holland trilogy of Spider-Man movies. They're the co-creators of the Skeleton Crew show. And in this article, we get some interviews, some talk of the show, blah-bitty, blue-bitty, blah, blee, blue, blah, blah, blue. But interestingly enough, there's a line from this that was deleted. We talked about this on Saturday's stream. And that line is this. They realize once they are out there that no one ever heard of their home planet. Now, right then and there, that's a very interesting line. No one in the galaxy has heard of their home planet. That's very weird. That's like a Camino type planet where nobody's ever heard of it. But what's even more interesting, because that's a cool line, it's like why do people not know about the planet? What's going on there? But the weirdest part of this whole damn thing is they deleted the line. They went back in, edited the article, and deleted the line. So the big question now becomes, what the freak is going on with this home planet? When you watch the trailer back, the stuff with their parents, Fern's mom and Wim's dad, looking for them.
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's wrong.
They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
So these two parents, Wim's dad, Fern's mom, looking for the kids, they seem pretty concerned. Now, obviously, their kids are missing, so they have the right to be, but they're being surveilled by these robots, droids, I guess, but creepy-looking robots, futuristic-looking droids. This is their seemingly safe home planet. We've never seen anything like this in Star Wars. It's the first time ever that we're going to be actually seeing the suburbs of Star Wars, how they've put it. And strangely enough, their ships don't even leave the ground. They have ships on this planet. They don't leave the ground. They're on rails, like a train, like a bus that's on those wires. It's on it's a ship. We've seen a ship like this before in Star Wars, but it's on a rail system that goes into their driveways, that goes around their. They don't have flying ships on this planet. They don't have flying ships. They can't leave the planet. At least, so we're led to believe.
Something's wrong.
They're not going.
Again, he's trying to look something up on their computer, and this weird-ass, creepy, futuristic-looking Terminator droid is watching him.
Going to just turn up. We need to find them.
Again, you look at this. It looks like a city. Usually when you see a city in Star Wars, there's ships flying in and out of it. There's not one to be seen. Not one. All their ships are anchored to the ground via a rail system.
We need to find them.
And then it cuts back to the kids. But it's very, very strange. Could the Onyx Cinder, which we see blast off here, be the only flying ship on this planet? And if so, why? Who's in control of this planet? The droids or somebody else? How long has this planet really been like this without any sort of outside confrontation? Without any sort of, like, if Fern's mom is a politician, as we're led to believe, because that's her description of her character, if she's a politician, that means she's a politician on this one planet because she can't leave. No ships in the sky either. Exactly. I'm curious to know the name of this planet. Yes, something that we've seen little about, but it's wait, what? Yes, something about that we've seen little questionables. I don't know what that means. Okay, but yes, we don't know the name of this. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. Something weird is going on with this home planet because nobody else in the galaxy, as this line that was deleted from the frickin' article says, no one else in the galaxy knows about their home planet. And they deleted the line. And not only that, if you watch all the trailers, the only ship that ever leaves this frickin' planet is this one. And when they do, by the way, they're blasting off into what looks like some sort of supernova or a nova of sorts, meaning their planet could be hidden behind this wall of green and bluish clouds in space. This could be a hidden planet that nobody else in the galaxy even knows about. I saw somebody, John says, it's like Westview. It's like, if anybody, give me a 1 into the chat if you've seen WandaVision, the Marvel show WandaVision. It's like Westview. Wanda tricks all the people on the planet into thinking that it's a safe place. but she's in control. I got a feeling that their planet is not that far off. Something strange is going on there, and somebody's in charge that probably shouldn't be. Whether it's droids, which we've never seen before in Star Wars, droids controlling the planet. Actually, have we? I don't think so. But droids actually controlling the planet, that would be crazy. Or it could be some sort of just new character that has a bunch of power and uses the droids and uses everybody else to control the people on the planet. It's interesting. It is quite interesting. Something very strange is going on with this home world, this seemingly safe home world. By the way, you go back to the original synopsis for this show. Synopsis. Or summary, I guess. Here is the original summary for this show. Oops. What have I done? Oh, here we go. This is from ILM specifically, but it's everywhere else. This is the official synopsis for the show when it was first announced. Star Wars Skeleton Crew follows the journey of 4 kids who make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet. They get lost in the strange and dangerous galaxy, finding their way home and meeting unlikely allies and enemies. It will be a greater adventure than they ever imagined. Seemingly safe home planet. It's been right in front of our stupid faces from the jump. This home planet of theirs is not safe. Maybe it seems to be, but it's not. And honestly, chat, when you talk about not knowing a lot about this show, the amount of twists and turns and surprises that could be coming our way are infinite. We think we have a grasp of what this Skeleton Crew show is going to be about. We have no fucking clue. We don't even know Jude Law, who's one of the main characters, is a good guy or a bad guy. There's been already a reference to the Old Republic, and their seemingly safe home planet could be some sort of crazy robot-infested planet where they can't leave. What is going on with this show? Honestly, though, that's what gets me excited. The surprise and little we know about this show gets me so unbelievably excited for it, you have no idea. It's like my hype level went from maybe like a 7.5 to a 10.5. Like it's so off the scale because the craziness that was introduced in this latest trailer. Old Republic, the creepy ass robots on their seemingly safe home planet, Jude Law not being a hero, and a possible connection or a direct reference to Hondo frickin' Onaka, the pirate in Star Wars. Does that not get you hyped up? Does that not make you want to see what the bleep is going on in this Skeleton Crew show? And with that, chat, with that crazy hour and 8-minute rant I just went on about how insane this show could possibly be with all these crazy twists and turns coming our way, tell me in the chat, out of 10, how excited are you for this Skeleton Crew show? Out of 10. Tell me, chat. Sklee what's up? How we doing? How we doing? Okay, let me catch up on some chat here. Fearless says, okay, Mike, now I'm even more amped up for this show. A mystery surrounding these kids' home planet? I want to know all about it. Can't wait for December. I can't wait either. 28 days. 28 days. Why don't they have flying ships? I don't know. All their ships are anchored to the floor. And honestly, you go back to the original trailer that was from over 2 months ago. It's right in front of our faces yet again. The first opening scene, he's looking up at flying ships because those don't exist on his planet.
Tomorrow's test.
Again, you're on a planet in Star Wars. Not a single ship coming in or out of the atmosphere. Every single car, bus is attached to the ground.
Will set the course of your entire...
This looks like out of some sci-fi movie where everybody is forced to be doing the same thing.
Will set the course of your entire future.
Possibly another creepy droid in control. Oops.
Your future.
Possibly another creepy droid in control.
Don't you ever want to do anything?
Interesting. Actually, just noticed this too. The only things that aren't connected to the ground are the kids' bikes. So it's pretty much like in any 80s show, movie, the kids are free because they have their bicycles. They're able to bike into the woods. They're able to go bike and find E.T. They're able to go bike. Able to be free because of their bikes. In this show, it just so happens that everything is on a rail. Everything is on a track on this planet except for the kids' bikes. Speeder bikes, that is.
Exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want?
Again, here are the tracks that all the ships in the place stick to.
In the whole galaxy. A real adventure.
And again, him looking out to the rest of the galaxy because they were trapped on this planet at Jedi.
No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello?
So again, everything on this planet is stuck to the ground. There's not a ship in the atmosphere, and the only thing that these kids can do is go on their bikes. That's the only thing that's not attached to the surface, and their bikes aren't able to go off to the galaxy either. They're not able to take off and go flying into the galaxy, but they happen upon a ship that can. And Wim, who's the kid with the afro, who's the most sort of eager to get out there into the galaxy, he's going to take off because he wants to get out of here. He wants to go on an adventure. And their seemingly safe home planet might not be that safe. It's pretty crazy. The fact that it's sort of been right in front of our faces, too, this whole time, and they're just... The Truman Show. Yeah, it's like the Truman Show. This planet might just be like the Truman Show. But it's all right in front of our faces, you know? I wonder where he got the Jedi stories. They were banned by the Empire. Well, that's another thing. What if this planet is pre-Empire? This planet hasn't been found. It's not known to anybody else in the galaxy because the Empire didn't have any pull. The Republic didn't have any pull. The only reason that this kid knows about the Jedi at all might be because a Jedi thousands of years ago maybe visited the planet and there's maybe tall tales about it. We don't know. That's very interesting. There's no remnants of the Empire there. There's no stormtroopers. There's no dead stormtroopers. There's no crashed ships. There's no star destroyers. It's very interesting. It could be a long-time experiment that would isolate them. Oof, that would be crazy. If these kids were all just in a simulation and in an experiment, that'd be wild. Somebody brought up, and I forget who, I apologize, but somebody brought up this crazy theory last stream, and it was a great one. And that is, what if this planet is the home of the First Order? They're trying to raise kids to become soldiers. Now, it's a great theory. I like it quite a bit. It probably won't pan out because you have Fern's mom, who's a politician. If you have politics on the planet, they're probably not sending their kids off to be soldiers for the First Order. But it could be something along those lines, where they're stuck there for a purpose. Yeah. For sure. Ian says, it's the Star Wars version of Banks trying to sell the kids houses in the Goonies. Yeah, kind of. And the kids got to go, yeah, a little bit. I'm getting more and more excited by the minute. Me too. We already have a hidden planet in Rebels. Zeb used his bow rifle to guide the ghost through the collapsed star cluster to find the original Lasat home. That's true. There are hidden planets in Star Wars Like that's been a thing that's already happened. This isn't something new. What's new about it is that there's people on this planet that don't know about the galaxy around them, or maybe they do a little bit, but the people around the galaxy don't know about them either. You've had hidden planets like Exegol, which is a Sith planet, but that's sort of hidden behind the nebula. You've had a planet like Tanalorr from Star Wars Jedi Survivor that is hidden again. You have Kamino, which was taken from the Jedi archives by Count Dooku. That's a little bit different. But this planet, we don't know why it's hidden or how it's hidden. But yeah, there've been hidden planets before in Star Wars. For sure. Look at this hype level, okay? The hype has not been this strong for this show in quite some time. Or ever, I should say. 10s, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9.75, 9, 10, 9.34, 0, 5, nice, 10, 8. Crazy. Crazy. Maybe the kids don't even know that there's a whole galaxy full of people and creatures out there. That's a possibility too. They might not even have the knowledge to know at all. Yeah. Wim totally skipped out on his test, and that's why they're in detention. Maybe. Well, the reason they're in detention at the beginning, or at least in trouble at the beginning of this trailer, you can tell by Wim being covered in dirt.
What are you in?
He's covered in dirt because he just found the ship out in the woods, and I'm guessing the ship that he finds out in the woods, he's not supposed to be there. It's probably a restricted zone out there in the woods.
What are you in for?
So she's in trouble because she was speeding around, causing havoc, I'm guessing. And he's in because he fell off his bike because he found something he wasn't supposed to.
I found something buried in the woods.
And watch as he turns around really quickly, because it's going to cut to his dad and cut back to the school. But he turns around really quickly because somebody's caught him. We don't know who it is, but somebody caught him.
Dad.
Yeah. So that's why he's in trouble. He was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. I was not very interested in this show for quite some time. I sure am now, though. Well, that's sort of the thing. Skeleton Crew was always on the bottom of my list for shows I'm hyped up for. We just know so little about it that it didn't have the hype. Now that we got this previous trailer and we can start speculating about some crazy stuff, I mean, the speculation's gone wild. And the hype for the show has gotten up. And that's what marketing does. So I'm hoping for the next 28 days we get some more and more trailers, more and more great marketing like this to get fans excited, you know? Yeah, no? Wim wants adventure. Yeah, for sure. He definitely does. Maybe their home planet is way out of the wider galaxy. It could be. It could be like way out in the outer rim or the unknown regions or even the wild space, which we're going to be exploring in this show. The wild space is sort of where the pirates control everything type deal. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I can't wait for Skeleton Crew. Nice. Nonstop annoying my family members about it. Nice. Love to see that. Mortis was a hidden planet. Mortis is a little bit different. It's not really a planet either. I mean, they come across the pyramid that's floating in space. And they get transported to it, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, by the way, we didn't do call-ins on Tuesday's stream. Sorry, Saturday's stream. But I did promise I would do them today. So I'm going to open up the call-in stage on the Discord. So if you're not yet in that Discord, go join it. There's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. So go join that. But I'm opening up a stage in that Discord called call-ins. So if you want to join and do a call-in, we will talk some Skeleton Crew. And I open up that right now. We'll do probably a few different ones. You just have to raise your hand when you come in there. And then we'll talk about some Rey news to end off the stream. But we'll do call-ins for now. So we'll do some call-ins first. Just if you want to go in and raise your hand, you can. Okay? Okay. But Mortis wasn't really a hidden planet as much as it was a non-existent planet. You know? Yeah, no? E.T. phone home? True. Wild space is definitely pirate territory. Yeah, wild space has been sort of defined as the pirates' territory. And especially in this time period, during the New Republic era, they control all that because the New Republic doesn't have the ability to control it. Yeah, they're too weak, too feeble-minded. The mystery about the planet is very intriguing. Well, it's not, yes, and more. Like, it's not just a planet mystery. There's a lot going on there. But Jude Law's character possibly not being a good guy is pretty crazy too. Hondo Onaka possibly showing up in this is crazy too. And we could talk about other characters appearing as well, because Hondo's not the only one that's connected to pirates. Maz Kanata from The Force Awakens is literally nicknamed the Queen of the Pirates. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that she could be showing up in this show too. Especially because she has the unanswered question of how did she get Luke's lightsaber? Yeah. John Groom says it would have to be away from hyperspace lanes and protected by some kind of magic to not be discovered. Well, from the trailer, it looks like it's surrounded by some sort of nova of some sort. Like it might just be, away from hyperspace lanes, but just hidden in general. Yeah. Or at least known hyperspace lanes. Yeah. There's another interesting Legends character that could be hinted at via the pirates, and this is an article coming from Screen Rant that I want to dive into for a sec. So I'll leave that call-ins thing open. If any of you guys want to call in, I'll try to just keep an eye on it out of the corner of my eye. So if you want to do a call-in, you just got to raise your hand there. All right, let's read this article first, though. Okay. One of Star Wars' most notorious pirates could be the center of the skeleton crew and explain the show's entire treasure hunting story. Okay, let's talk about this. Cool. Okay. The upcoming Skeleton Crew series is likely setting up a major pirate warlord who will be at the heart of its new Star Wars show, featuring a group of young kids who inadvertently find themselves lost in the galaxy far, far away. They'll eventually be joined by Jude Law's Jod Na Nawood, who looks to be a Force user, and perhaps even a former Jedi. Do you guys think he actually survived Order 66 and is an actual Jedi? Tell me in the chat. But to that end, it seems this unlikely group of space travelers will also find themselves embarking on a legendary adventure, hunting for treasure across the stars. Now, the treasure, of course, is because of the latest trailer. Coming from John Watts and Christopher Ford, Skeleton Crew will be set in the same New Republic era of the Star Wars timeline, joining the other shows such as The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. To that end, it's been reported that this new Star Wars show is very much inspired by Steven Spielberg and Amblin movies, most notably The Goonies. Keeping that in mind, the latest trailer of Star Wars Skeleton Crew may have just revealed its version of One-Eye Willie, the ancient pirates warlord who is canonical. Sorry. Despite his origins in Legends. So this is where it goes from another Legends character possibly being brought into Skeleton Crew. Setting up a classic treasure hunting story. At the onset, Skeleton Crew looks to begin with 4 kids who get lost in space, having found an old ship buried beneath their seemingly boring planet where nothing ever happens. Again, seemingly safe home world is what it's described to be. These kids, Wim, Fern, KB, and Neil, can't really see their faces there. That said, the trailer for Skeleton Crew confirms that this adventure will involve far more than just a simple trip back home, as they are now looking for treasure. Featuring pirates, booby traps, and all sorts of dangers to be faced, this new show looks to involve a search for hidden treasure, just like The Goonies was. Likewise, it seems as though Jod Na Nawood will likely be helping these kids make their way home in exchange for them helping find what looks to be quite the trove of treasure that's long been hidden from the galaxy for ages. So like I said, Jude Law he's got his own reasons for helping the kids, and these kids might be helping him as well. As seen in the trailer, when the group finds themselves in a large room filled with riches. To that end, there's a handful of moments in this trailer that suggest that this treasure once belonged to one of the most legendary pirates in the Star Wars galaxy. So let's talk about this. We think the treasure belongs to, I don't know if it's Exum or Zum. I don't even know. I think Exum. We're going with Exum. Okay, chat? Is that fine with you? I don't care. We're going with Exum. We're going with Exum. Okay? Okay. He's an ancient pirate's warlord. Now, this was the first piece of evidence where these lasers come out of. Of course, the treasure trove itself, that and our biggest mystery is the ancient Sith texts going on the wall there. Featured on one of the booby traps, as well as behind the throne in the treasure room, is an image of a Weequay's skull, is repeatedly shown in the latest trailer. And the Weequay, like we mentioned before, is the species of Hondo Onaka. To that end, the skull symbols very much resembles one that belongs to Exum. Let's look up Exum here. Let's look him up so we can get a face to the name. Exum. What the hell? Star Wars. Maybe that will help. Exum. There we go. Okay, cool. So. He does have a canon reference. Canon appearances. Let's see. Let's see here. Canon appearances. Exum is a male. He's a warlord, lived long reign in the galaxy, First Order. Okay, let's see. He was first mentioned in Star Wars canon in 2017 in The Last Jedi novelization, or a reference book, sorry, for The Last Jedi. He was created in a Legends 1980 novel, Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. But his mentions are in that Last Jedi reference book and Solo: A Star Wars Story official guide, Solo: A Star Wars Story Tales of Vandor, and Smuggler's Guide. So he has a few canon mentions, but let's go to his Legends story. In Legends appearances, we'll go to first. He is mentioned in the Knights of the Old Republic. Mentioned only. First mentioned at Han Solo in the Lost Legacy book from 1980. Mentioned only in those other things. Okay, so let's see. Who is this guy? Born on Argia, son of Exer the Eighth, a pirate who had carved a domain for himself in the Cornsea Sweeps, the kingdom of Crone. Cronsea Sweeps, the kingdom of Crone. Look at those names. My God. He had 4 brothers, all of whom shared the same father. Exum began as a leader of the criminal organization and later entered politics. During his teenage years, he became famous for his brutality during his slaughtering on Crone. His ability to call Crone's nobility, called the Crone Sweeps. All right, let's see. When does he become a pirate? Here we go. But Exum named the 6th province of his empire after her, the Queen of Ranroon. Okay. Later dubbed his treasure ship the Queen of Ranroon. All right. What the hell? My screen just went black over here. Oh, never mind. Did that just go black on your screen? I don't know. That was weird. Okay. Let's see. I'm confused as to where the hell this guy is born at. He died that long ago. But in canon, he's alive during the... What? He's a warlord who lived in a time long before the reign of the Empire. Okay. I see. Okay, he's been dead for quite some time. All right, let's go back to the article then. He's an ancient warlord who existed thousands of years before the events of the Skywalker saga. Creates a notorious pirate with a legacy of treasure ships, with a legendary treasure ship. Jesus Christ. Exum was first mentioned in 1980's Han Solo. Why did I just read this? Why did I just read this? In Legends, he ruled a massive empire before he eventually was defeated by the rising Hutt clan. So talk about how long the Hutts have been around. He thousands and thousands of years ago. He started again. Officer Murdoch, what's up? He supposedly had a massive amount of riches stored aboard his lost treasure ship known as the Queen of Ranrune as well. They said that Exum and small parts of his story had persisted in the official Star Wars canon, not only in Exum's symbols, but part of the existing canon. So seemingly, this symbol is for Exum. So this right there, but it's just a weak way. I gotta sneeze, chat. Hang on, chat. Sorry. Okay. Hang on. Brandon, I'll get to your call in just a second. Don't you worry about it. I want to get to the bottom of this first. Okay. Holy crap. That sneeze just came and went. Crazy. All right. Where was I? Not only is his symbol still part of the existing canon, but a Maytag crystal mast head of his skull has been seen among Dryden Voss's artifacts in Solo A Star Wars Story. Where's the image of that? Okay. Guess we'll just have to take their word for it. Likewise, it was said that Supreme Leader Snoke's mega-class star Dreadnought, the Supremacy, was nearly as large as Exum's flagship. That's a big ship, which means it must have been one of the largest ships in the entire Star Wars canon. Huh. Furthermore, a key image from Skeleton Crew sees Jod Na Nawood investigating a message carved using the same ancient versions of the Cruet or first seen on the world of Peridia in Ahsoka. We talked about this before. Same dialect, at least. Supporting the theory that this could be the treasure of Exum. Interesting. Okay, let's see. This would also be a connection to the Old Republic, too. Depends on how old they put him. Likewise, it's also worth noting Hondo Onaka, legendary pirate from the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, is also Weequay, and his ship has already been spotted in the teaser trailer for the live-action show, Skeleton Crew. So there you go with that as well. All the way back to another Legends character. I guess he's kind of in canon as well, too. But a Legends character brought canon with Exum. That'd be kind of cool, honestly, because we have no idea whose treasure this is. We only thought it could be Hondo's because of the Weequay skull. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Could be bringing yet another Star Wars Legends character into canon. All right, we got Brandon coming in as a caller. Let's bring in Brandon. Brandon? Let's bring you in. We'll do a few call-ins today if you guys want to, and then we'll get on out of here.
Oh, hello. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
We can hear you just fine, Brandon. What is up?
Hello, Mike. Yeah, nice to hear your voice.
Nice to hear yours. First of all, before we get to any questions, let me just say how much I appreciate you. You're the only mod here at the channel, at least on the live stream. So you helped me out a great deal. So I appreciate you. All right, let's talk Skeleton Crew now, Brandon, shall we? Skeleton Crew is in 28 days. First question for you. Do you think Hondo Onaka will be in the show?
Ooh. Honestly, that's one I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about it for a while, Mike, and I think he could make his live action appearance and the show, probably.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. It seems as though the evidence is too much to deny at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll follow up with that. Jude Law's character. It's really weirdly put together with just how the trailer is edited together, I should say.
Yes.
Do you think his character is a good guy or a bad guy? And we'll make it a two-part question. Is he a good guy and a bad guy? And is he an actual Jedi who survived Order 66, or is he just somehow able to wield the Force?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's a lot of... Okay, it's definitely a lot of good questions, I would say.
We'll start
I
with
would say for the most part, like, I don't... He seems like the type of guy to me. He comes like looking off as a trustworthy guy at first, but like it's so easy like to deceive these kids. And I don't think like he is a good guy at all.
That's a good point. Actually, they're kids,
Yeah.
so it's going to be easy for him to deceive them if he wants to. That's a great point.
Right.
All right. Well, then let's switch gears a little bit to their weirdly home planets. It's some sort of like everything's anchored to the ground. It looks like in the trailer. There's no ships that are flying by. Like it's a crazy question, but it's an open one, I guess, and it's up to your own interpretation. What do you think is going on with this home planet? Do you think it's?
Oh my god!
Do you think it's?
As soon as I saw this planet in the trailer, Mike, like I'm not gonna lie, gave me the Westview vibes like right off the bat. I was like, dude, it gave me so much of that.
John brought that up earlier this stream. I never thought of it that way. It's actually the perfect way to think of it. Westview, WandaVision, perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, and now I'll leave you on this because we're going to talk some Rey news before we get out of here. Rey movie on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you for the Rey movie?
Ooh. Let's say for the Rey movie, I would say for right now, for me, I would give it at least an 8.
That's pretty solid. 8. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, well, Brandon, I'm going to get you on out of here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Mike, and I appreciate you too, buddy.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Okay, we'll get Brandon out of there. If anybody else wants to call in, you just got to come in and raise your hand. I know it's a lot, but somehow, some way, you got to raise your hand in the call-ins portion of the Discord. Okay, I appreciate it, Brandon. I appreciate all you do. But yeah, I could not agree with him more. I mean, Hondo's seems to be an easy one at this point. But with Jude Law's character, these are 4 kids who grew up on a safe home planet where there's just pretty much nothing going on, nothing dangerous happening. So the first time they come across any danger, the first time they come across anything that could go wrong, and Jude Law is going to be the one who saves them, it's going to be very easy for the kids to trust him. Very easy for the kids to latch on to this character that saves their lives for the first time. And they're going to trust him. They're going to do whatever he says. He's going to save them, but he might just be playing them the entire time, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty dang wild. Okay, let's do this, shall we? Yeah, we don't have to do that. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. So there is a new sort of poster for Skeleton Crew. Nothing too crazy going on this poster. It's just more of a banner type version of the original poster. But let's take a look at this. So this was just released, or at least leaked, or whatever you want to call it, today. There's not much going on here. It's very similar to the original poster, just kind of horizontal rather than vertical. But you see Wim, Neil, KB, and Fern on their bikes there. You got, again, X-Wings right there. Our boy Brutus, who's going to be a pirate that we haven't really seen much of yet. Jod Na Nawood, Fern's mom, their ship, the Onyx Cinder right there. SM-33 looks a little bit cleaned up here. Looks a little less scratched up in there. And then the owl dude. What's really strange is this owl dude was seen in the first trailer, not in the second trailer, but he's been in both of the posters. He's been in both of them. So I don't know what's going on with this dude, but he's got some sort of importance to this show because he's in both the posters. I don't know. I have no clue. But that's just another poster that was released. Brandon, you did great. You did great. Brandon says, honestly, yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, electronics make your voice sound different. That's for sure. I don't listen to myself. I can't listen to my live streams back because I don't think anybody on the planet likes hearing their own voice. We'll put it that way. I don't think anybody likes it. So you sounded great. Don't worry about it. Oh, Haja. Let's get Haja in here. Speaking of voice, let's get Haja in here.
Well, hello there.
Hello there. What's up, Haja? How are we doing?
I'm very well, so I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm getting so hyped up for the Skeleton Crew show. You have no idea.
I know. I'm really, really excited for it. And yeah, there's just so many 1980s Goonies vibes, excitement, what's going on, kind of mystery box of pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really can't wait. I really can't wait.
All right, first question for you, and it's a big one.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that Hondo Onaka will be in this show?
I would like very much if he was, because I think he's a great character and I think he could add so much to the kids' journey, but also be a really cool link back to the wider Mandoverse. And yeah. Bring him on.
That's true. When we talk about Hondo, we're not really talking. We talk about him showing up in Skeleton Crew, but we're not really talking about it, how it could affect the greater story. We're talking about this Mandoverse possibly trilogy that could be coming up and how it's all going to come together with all these different characters. Hondo would be the connection that would connect you to the Rebels crew, Hera, Sabine, Ezra, and he would be a connection for the Skeleton Crew characters to the rest of the Mandoverse characters. That's a great point. Let's talk some other characters, though. Maz Kanata has been dubbed the Queen of the Pirates, and she's only ever appeared in the sequel trilogy, but she's 1,000 years old, one of the oldest characters to ever live in Star Wars. Do you think it's possible that she could appear in this Skeleton Crew show?
Maz is one of my favorites from the sequels.
Nice.
She's just a complete legend, and it's just like since after she dropped that line, "Where's my boyfriend?" talking about Chewie,
Yeah.
she's just a legend. She needs to be in it. She needs to be in it because she's awesome. She's got the pirate connection, and how long she's been alive as well. Do it. Let's have a bit more Maz.
Yeah, and she's one, because she is 1,000 years old. You can throw her in there anywhere almost, and it will make sense. Plus, she's a character that's only ever existed in the sequel trilogy. So if you want to throw her in anywhere, you can. And like you just mentioned, she thinks of Chewbacca as her boyfriend, meaning they have a history together. Not only just her and Chewie, but her and Han as well, because instead of bringing Rey and Finn to the Resistance and to his ex-wife, he brings them to Maz Kanata, meaning they have some sort of strong relationship. So we could maybe see some of that relationship happen in this Mandoverse if Maz gets introduced or reintroduced into live action in Skeleton Crew. That's a great point. All right, let's talk about Jude Law's character, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We've only seen him about maybe 4 times in the trailers.
No, not enough though. He's a handsome devil, isn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah. No. He is. He's a great looking guy. But there's so much mystery around this character. You're led to believe he's this good guy. He's just going to be a Jedi. It's going to be great. He's the lead dude helping out these kids. Is he trustworthy? Yes or no? Let's hear it, Haja.
I think there's going to be a lot of that in this show, and I think he's going to start off quite dodgy, but then maybe kind of swing things around towards the end potentially as the story unfolds, and then to make links to possible shooting off into some of these upcoming films or wider Mandoverse. But I think he's going to be, there's going to be a lot of who can you trust, who can't you trust from all sides, and I think Hondo Hondo, sorry, and possibly Maz fly in and kind of save the day because they've both got morality, although they're pirates.
Yeah, that's definitely true. With Jude Law's character, like you just mentioned, though, like sort of he can't really be trusted in tying it into everything else. If he's able to use the Force, and he's not really a hero, he might become a villain at some point and maybe even side with Thrawn if we were to go so crazy and be a Force user for Thrawn. But that's just kind of crazy speculation going on there.
Yeah, and I think as well, sort of like from the angle of a Force user not being a strict Jedi or Sith as we know them as of yet, like the Last Jedi did in terms of opening the box and the broom boy, about people having the Force but not having the training or the opportunities, experiences, journey, whatever. So it'd be interesting to see someone that's older, maybe in that same position where he knows he can use the Force, doesn't know what it's about fully, and has just used it to his own benefit. But then maybe he learns exactly what the Force is, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe
like he comes into contact with Luke or something who leads him down a better path. That could be something. Could be definitely something.
Exactly. Maybe Grogu pops up and he's like, who can resist a bit of Grogu? Come on,
who can resist that?
That little boy.
All right, final question for you, and that is: did he survive Order 66?
I'd like to see in the no camp in regards to that, because I think we've had that done and we've had that done well. And the last time we were there was with Grogu.
Yeah.
And I'd like to finish that journey a bit more. And also, like I was saying earlier, have someone that maybe he's an adult but has never been a Jedi or never had that experience. I wanted to see a bit more about that. Your regular Force users in the galaxy, what happens to them?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. I appreciate it, Haja. I'm going to get you on out of here and we'll get Kid Fisto in. I appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, before I bring in Kid Fisto, he brings up a great point. Jod Na could be one of those, if he survived Order 66, he survived Order 66. But it's something we've seen so many times over again, especially in recent past. We saw it with Grogu in The Mandalorian. We saw it with The Bad Batch with Kanan Jarrus, Season 1, Episode 1 of The Bad Batch. We saw it with The Clone Wars from Ahsoka's perspective. We've seen it from Cal Kestis' perspective. We saw the Order 66 happen like 10 different ways in the last 5 to 10 years. So maybe we're all Order 66'd out, for lack of a better word. And Jude Law's character probably shouldn't be another one who survived it. It's almost becoming like Order 66 didn't really succeed in the way it was supposed to. But it's a great point. All right. Let's get Kit Fisto in here. All right. Let's see. Kit Fisto. Oh, there we go. Kid Fisto, what's up? Hello? It says you're muted. Oh.
Oh,
hello.
Boy.
Is
it good?
You are good now.
All right. Do I have to echo this time?
I do not hear an echo. Okay,
awesome.
You're good. You're good. Okay, let's start where we started with everybody else. Skeleton Crew. Hondo Onaka, yes or no? Go.
Yes.
Yes.
I think there's so much evidence, especially like what you talked in your video about. Well, first of all, this is a pirate show, and Hondo's just such an important pirate. And then there's his ship, which is to my eyes identical. And then there's the man, I forgot his species name, but the treasure thing at the end of the second trailer we got.
The Weequay.
The Weequay. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I agree with you. I fully agree with you. But let me ask you what I asked Haja too. There's other characters that could appear, like a Maz Kanata or something like that. But I'm not going to ask you Maz Kanata. How about like a Din Djarin and Grogu? And before you answer that, the next Mandoverse project, we've talked about this a little bit before, but is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. It doesn't come out until 2026. It's not for another 2 years almost. But it is the next project in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, in the Mandoverse, I should say. So these characters are going to need some sort of tie to the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, and just to that movie in general to make it all feel connected. So is it possible that we could be seeing the specific characters of Din and Grogu play some sort of role, maybe at the very end or something, of this Skeleton Crew show?
I could see them play a minor role. I wouldn't say like a major role, just because.
Major role.
Well, first of all, there is a reason why Skeleton Crew came out so late. Like you said, it was filmed like several years ago and it was delayed. So like maybe the storyline is connecting to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and that's why it's put out so late. But yeah, I'm not. I didn't think about it, but I could definitely see them playing a minor role, but I don't think a major role.
Yeah, well, I'll give you this. We see X-wings quite a bit in the trailers, and that is a direct connection to the New Republic. But we don't see any people, New Republic officers or anything like that. Just the X-wings, and we don't know who's in the X-wings. Could be Carson Teva, could be anybody else, really. But interestingly enough, the last time we saw Din and Grogu, they were on Navarro helping out the New Republic. And the New Republic doesn't have that big of a grasp on the galaxy. They don't control the Outer Rim. They don't control the wild space, which is where this show is going to take place with the pirates. So maybe Din helps them out a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting to see all these possible characters coming into play in the show.
That is very true. Okay, I'll get you out on this one. We're about to talk to end off the stream the Rey movie, because Stacey Ridley has just given us another update, and her updates are very brief and very positive all the time. But let's put it this way: do you think that the Rey movie will make that December 17th, 2026 release date?
You got me on this one. I'm gonna say no. And the reasons why are because number one, The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out in 2026, and we haven't seen them put out two movies the same year. Number two, there's constantly been reports of it getting delayed and all that, and I feel like they would film in 2026, but I'm not like early maybe. I don't think they'll be able to put it out by December of 2026.
I sadly agree with you. I think the Rey movie has sort of lost its way in this sort of Hollywood place, I guess. It's lost in this sort of never-ending cycle of writers and losing writers. But I think in the long run, it'll be the best thing for the Rey movie, getting it to be a solid first film of hopefully a trilogy. It'll hopefully make it what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Can I quickly say something about my speculation of Skeleton Crew?
Go for it.
So my speculation is that they are going to get home like early on, like maybe the 4th or the 5th episode. Ooh. And that's because somebody in the Discord pointed out that there were those droids that were looking at Wim's father in that scene where Jude Law, Jod Na Nawood is like showing the children into his ship or something like that. I think he's gonna like get them to somehow come with him, and like they're gonna try to look for Hondo's treasure or whatever that thing is that a week is the throne.
That's actually a great point. Yeah.
And then my other thing is that I think in the trailer one of the kids is wielding the Force. I might be totally crazy, but you can only see 3 of. I didn't go back and see which 3 of them were, but you can see one of them, and I think that Jod Na Nawood is just a pirate. He doesn't wield the Force.
Interesting. That's a great theory. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's possible that they could arrive back on their planet before the last episode. It doesn't have to be the end of the show as they arrive back on their planet. I like it. I like it a lot, Kid Fisto. Well, before I get you out of here, we have a question from the chat. Jessica asks who your favorite Star Wars character is.
Is that a question for me or for the chat?
For you.
Oh, for me. Okay. It's Ahsoka Tano. I think her character development is just like the best. Like going from this, snippy Padawan in season 1 to like one of the the greatest Jedi of all time, and then like her leaving the Jedi Order, spoilers for anyone, is like so it wasn't what I expected, but it's so relatable to me, and I think to a lot of other people.
Oh, well, you just spoiled the whole ending of Clone Wars. Thanks a lot, Kid Fisto. All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
I appreciate you, Kid Fisto. I'm going to get you on out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. All right. You heard it here first, chat. Kid Fisto's favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. Not Ahsoka Tano. Kid Fisto's favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. But I agree with it. I mean, how can you not agree with that? He's clearly right. Kid, okay, maybe Anakin, but we'll go with the go. All right, we'll go from there. All right, let's get in limey maybe not. We'll try that again. Your pal Joe, let's get your pal Joe in here. Joe, what is up?
Is it working?
It's working.
What's up, man?
What's up, Joe? How we doing?
Good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. That Mandalorian helmet is looking so swaggy, and I can't wait till you get it.
Same here. It's gonna look real nice. I got 2 others lined up. I made a space on my shelf.
Nice.
Can't wait to see that shipping receipt come through. I'm hyped, man.
Nice. Okay, let's talk Skeleton Crew. I know that you kind of checked out when it came to the Acolyte, right?
Correct.
And coming back from that, obviously, the Acolyte's the most probably divisive thing since The Last Jedi, if not even more than The Last Jedi. Coming back from that, being a Star Wars fan who's coming back from that, I think you're at a spot where not a lot of people in this fandom are, because, or at least in this community specifically, because so many of us loved the Acolyte, or at least watched it and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when it comes to Skeleton Crew? Like, where's your hype level at? Are you, like, what's the thought process coming back from not even watching the last show?
I'm optimistic. Yeah, no, I watched to the 3rd episode, and kind of that for me just kind of turned me off of the whole series, and from there, and you know my opinion about it, we've kind of talked about it, but I understand why people like it. I love that it brings people into Star Wars, and everyone can love their own Star Wars. But for me, from my perspective, coming back into it, I'm hopefully optimistic. I see a lot of good stuff from the trailer. I really like the vibe of what I'm seeing and like the feel of the film, and like what we're seeing from the trailer. So I'm hopefully optimistic, but I think I'm a little bit cautious as well.
That makes sense. I mean, when you look at it side by side, the Acolyte, and I fully understand, like, you are the perfect example of a Star Wars fan with a level-headed mind. There's some people out there that either loved the Acolyte like I did, or really, really hated it, and there's no in between. But I think there's people like myself. I like to think I'm level-headed sometimes. But myself and you, we can see what we like and what we don't like, and respect others for how they view it as well. But going back to what you said about Skeleton Crew, it's almost like these 2 projects are back-to-back, Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, are the exact opposites. One's about Jedi and Sith and this time period before the prequel trilogy. One's after all the original trilogy even, and it's about pirates and kids and completely different feeling entirely. But with that being said, Hondo Onaka, yes or no?
I think yes. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially seeing Vane drop in there. The time, we don't really know what happened with the end of Hondo's story. So I'd be really excited to see him in there, and I think it's really possible. I think it's highly likely.
I agree. I could not agree with you more. Okay, so I've seen you were in the chat when I went on my crazy rant about this seemingly safe home world. What the hell do you think's going on with this? Like, I have no answers. I'm literally asking you for answers. I don't know what's going on.
It's hard to say. You're talking about from the recent trailer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of visuals to go on, and like there's a lot of cues, and It depends on what they're trying to do. It's either, they like to sometimes with these projects throw in, like in Rogue One, those little hidden sneaky things like with the ship and that, but
Yeah.
um it's really hard to say. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this planet. I mean, I hope we get more answers. Like I hope we get it like another trailer or something just to give us a little bit more because they
Yeah.
are really edited. Like they do feel very edited up and it does feel like they're hiding things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
It will be, and you're absolutely right. They're hiding things. It reminds me so much of the first season of The Mandalorian. Going into that first season, we knew nothing about this show. They edited all the trailers together so weirdly. It was only really filmed from the first episode before he meets Grogu, because at the end of that episode, he meets Grogu, and he's the main character, Grogu, that is, for the rest of the show. But he's never once in any of the advertising for that show. And that's what I feel like Skeleton Crew's doing right now.
And that's what kind of hypes me up because I feel like the more well written something is in a Disney project, I feel like the more they want to hide it. Like The Mandalorian, like Ahsoka. Like I feel like they didn't really give us a lot because there's so many twists and turns, and they don't want to really expose it too early. They want people to watch, right? So I think it's a little bit of that. So that excites me.
Yeah, I agree. It's knowing the balance between showing too much and having that surprise factor, because obviously you want people to come in and watch your show. You need views, but to be able to deliver a surprise like a Grogu, like a Ahsoka, like a Luke Skywalker at the end of Mando season 2, doing that is so hard to do. But you know that they have something like that when they advertise a show like this, when they really cut between scenes and hide stuff all over the place. It's really, really cool. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Skeleton Crew?
With my cautious optimism, I'd probably give it an 8.5. I'm fairly excited.
That's pretty damn excited, I will
But
say.
that's high for me. A lot of times I throw a lot of like 7.5s, 8. So for me to be at like an 8.5 going up to a 9 means that I'm pretty hyped.
That is hype. I love it. All right, now completely flipping on its head, let's talk Rey movie.
Oh yeah.
So the Rey movie's been in this weird limbo for about 2-ish years now, where they've lost writers, they're writing a script, they're doing all this stuff. Daisy Ridley keeps telling us that everything's fine, everything's going great, everything's doing good. But on the other side of things, we're hearing Steven Knight's left the project. He might have left the project months ago. What do you think is going on? Like, do you think it hasn't been set yet, but fans theorize that this movie would have been released on December 17th of 2026. Do you think it will make that release date?
I don't think it will. To be honest with you, I've had a bad feeling just from the moment it was announced. I don't know what. Like, I'm obviously like pretty pessimistic about the sequel trilogy in general, but I always thought Daisy Ridley did a really good job acting in that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen myself, to be honest. Just a bad feeling from the get go, and just so much unknown in like the internet news about it. It just is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? What's going on? So I'm gonna say probably not. If anything, a year after that would be like probably a good guess.
Yeah, I would guess that too. But that brings up the question. They have a set Star Wars movie to release then. Will Dawn of the Jedi, James Mangold's movie, be sped up to reach that goal? Because there's rumors that it might start filming next year and it could maybe meet that requirement. Would you want to see Dawn of the... Well, let me ask you a different sort of variation of the question. Are you excited for Dawn of the Jedi? Because it's the origins of the Jedi. First ever Force users, first ever lightsaber. What do we think?
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. You have to be excited for something like that, even if you don't think it's going in the right direction. Even just hearing about that, definitely excited for sure.
What I really like about Dawn of the Jedi is James Mangold, because James Mangold is like one of the best directors we have right now. And not only that, they got Mr. Willimon. So for those of you who don't know, Mr. Willimon is his name is like Bo Willimon or something, but I call him Mr. Willimon. He's the guy who wrote the One Way Out sequence, or One Way Out 3-episode arc of Andor. He's also writing another arc in Andor season 2, and he's done some incredible work with Star Wars, and now he's one of the main writers with James frickin' Mangold on the Dawn of the Jedi. So that's the great news about Dawn of the Jedi.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's definitely exciting to hear then from that. But yeah.
It really is. All right, Joe. Well, I appreciate you. Of course, you are the first ever founding member of the channel, so I appreciate you for that as well. But I'm going to get you on out of here. I appreciate
Cool, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having you on. All right, well, Joe, I appreciate it. All right, let's try and get Lemmy in. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, so please join so I can ask you. Let's see. Actually, is this John Groom? Why do I feel like John Groom's name on the Discord was this? Let's see. We'll see. We shall see. We had some pretty solid call-ins today, if I do say so myself. Joe was fantastic. Brandon was fantastic. Kid Fisto, fantastic. Oh my God. Usually we got people who just go, blah. Annie K, what's up? All right, well, I invited you in. I don't know if you can. You got to accept the invite, I think. We'll see if you can. But while he does that, let's see if I can find the Daisy Ridley news real quick. Yeah, here we go. So this is the Daisy Ridley news. There's not much to it. That's why we kept it here towards the end. Let's see. John, if that's you in there, I believe you have to just accept my request to join. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if you can get in there. But until then, let's take a look at this. So this is what Daisy Ridley's latest update, because she's still on the press tour for her Magpie movie. So this is the latest update. She says this: Rey's future is exciting. It's exciting, and it's coming. Obviously, it's coming. That's the big news, I guess, that it's still coming. But there's no real update here. It's just that she's excited for the future of this character. That's about it. Not much to it. She's just still on tour for this Magpie movie. I'm sure we'll get more and more one-liners like this from her about how good this movie looks and blah, blah, blah. But I'm hoping that next weekend, or this coming weekend, I should say, in Brazil, we could get some sort of update for this Rey movie, which would be fan-freaking-tastic. But we'll see. We shall see. Your pal Joe says, thank you. I was super nervous at first, but it got a lot easier once you start. Yeah, I try to help you guys out there. I try to ramble on with my long-ass questions so that you guys can kind of get used to being in talking to me. I'm not that scary of a guy. I know I'm pretty tall, but I'm not that scary, okay? Okay. But that is, as it is, the Star Wars news. Let's end this poll, actually. I can't believe how crazy the Skeleton Crew show is getting. All the theories, all the crazy twists and turns that could be coming our way. Absolutely insane. But, all right, well, John, if that's you in that call-in thing, I apologize, but I'm going to have to end it because I can't get you in here for some reason. But we'll try next time. We shall try next time. If you are not yet in that Discord, go join it. There's a lot of fun, cool people in that Discord, so go check it out. Go check it out. Being on live is the nervous part. Hey, it's not that crazy. Is it? Should I be nervous? Okay. And with that, clearly doing something wrong, LOL. We'll figure it out next time, John. I appreciate it nonetheless. With that, I'm going to get on out of here. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up on the recommended feed of yours. Watch out for a short later on today at 5, so in about an hour. Watch out for a short then. Watch out for a watch out for a video tomorrow, probably, at some point. And yeah, watch out for all that stuff. Cosmic the Cow says, before you go, Mike, when will you be doing the second part of the ranking for Star Wars characters? Holy crap, I actually forgot about that. Whew, hang on. When will we be doing that? I don't know. I really don't know. We did that at a point where there was no news. And then I thought like the next time there would be no news again, so I could just do part 2. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But smash freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe. And may the force be with you. Always. yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. Huge shout out to Darth Drafter for the very generous $10 holla. Goddamn. And shout out to all those people who did the call-ins from Joe to Brandon to Haja to Kid Fisto. I appreciate all you guys. Shout out to John for trying to get in there but couldn't do it. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.